Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video, we're over here on the Japanese side of the game, taking on the 10-star Garps challenge against the Fishmen or Hody Jones. So that was the team that you guys just saw on screen there. The only noticeable support that I sort of recognized with Corazon, but from memory, he's not actually that, needed. But I would recommend bringing him just in case you do get blind and despair, because if you take too long, you can actually get it. But this particular Garp challenge isn't out on global, so for my Globarians, as I am a global main, if you guys are watching this video, this is what to be expected in the next coming sort of 10-star Garp challenge. I don't know when this is going to drop on global, so please don't ask me, or if you do, I don't have an answer for you. But it will be the next Garp challenge coming on OPTC Global, so now's the time to prepare, as it is one of the harder Garp challenges by far. It's up there with the Navy. I would actually say it's probably harder than Navy, as I am using the Anniversary Legends to take this on, and a lot of very, very good Legends and Rare Recruits as well. So on Stage 2, we come up against Hody and 3 mob enemies. You want to take out Hody on the first turn, and these enemies, they roll your specials back by 1 turn. Very similar to the Navy event if you don't take them out on the first turn, but they don't have a lot of HP. They're very easy to kill, and they can be on a 2-turn cooldown, as you saw there, so they're fairly easy to take down. On this particular team, we do have the new Super Type Zoro as well. I thought this was a good chance to showcase him on JP as well, as he just released on global. He's a great orb booster for the DEX team, as we are running mono DEX here, as you guys can see. On Stage 3, we come up against one of the Fishmen and 3 mob enemies. The mob enemies are always going to have a strength, quick, and dex barrier, where the Fishman in the front, he's always going to have a 2 orb barrier, but it's going to be a random orb. So for us, we actually got strength, but it could be any of the colors. Now, he will change that every 2 turns, but the mob enemies in the back, they always have that barrier. So ideally, you just want to take out the mob enemies in the front, in the back, and then focus on the guy in the front. Now, if you have Law with max barrier pen, it will make this stage a lot easier, as Law will actually just go through the barriers very, very nicely, and make this particular stage here against this particular Fishman a lot easier. As you can see, we can just do damage to the barrier, and we don't have to worry about the orbs at all. If you take too long here, he will blind a random unit, and that's where Corazon comes into play and helps us out quite a bit. Other notable units on this particular team, we do have Vivi Rebecca. Vivi Rebecca is a notable culprit for most 10-star challenges and the harder content in OPTC. Their switch ability is great, healing extra damage with the chain lock, as well as being a cerebral unit in both of their forms, which means Law will actually boost them. That goes the same for Sanji and Pudding. Sanji and Pudding are both cerebrals, which means that Law will always be boosting Sanji or Pudding depending on what variant you're in. But they're not essential, because Bonnie basically does the same thing, and they're here for threshold removal, but their switch ability is great because we can guarantee some extra healing, as well as having the color affinity buff as well. Zoro works really well with Law because he will trigger the super typing of Law, so that's another big reason why Law's here, and I really wanted to showcase him over here on JP, so then that way you Globarian players can actually see how good this Zoro actually is with the right sort of team. On this particular stage, I think we're on Stage 4, we come up against Hyozu and Vanderdecken. We can just take them out with normal attacks, but ideally we want to switch into Sanji on the next turn. That is actually fairly important, and having access to Sanji just helps out on this Doson stage a lot. But in saying that, it's not overly necessary to have Sanji Pudding, as we just have them here to remove Threshold on this particular stage against Zio and Doson. But Bonnie can actually do that for us. Bonnie will also give us a full board of orbs. We can then use our special of Law, get the extra damage debuff as well as the attack buff, and take this stage out. But because we are using Sanji and Pudding, we actually have access to a quick unit, and because they give color affinity for 2 turns to Cerebrals and fighter units, as you'll see here, we have plenty of damage on Doson, and we don't have to worry about utilizing our Law special. Once we take out Doson, we can move on to the next stage. But like I said, you guys can use Bonnie here. I actually don't use Bonnie's special throughout the entire run, so that option is there for you, and it's more of a free-to-play friendly option. On to the next stage, we come up against is it Icarus Munch and Daruma? Is his name? I think his name's Daruma. The little fire fishman guy. They're going to give us the orb seal buff, or debuff I should say, where they lock our orbs for 1 turn, and you have to hit a perfect to get rid of them. Very similar to the Hawkins Forest, but with the new release of Legend Marco V2, we can actually get around that. But the easiest way to get around this is just to have characters that have lots of matching orbs, utilizing a orb lock mechanic on the previous stage. So when we actually come into this stage, we can just hang on to those orbs as well. We actually get 4 turns of burn here as well. So hitting perfects to get rid of that orb seal or that orb locking sort of mechanic can backfire, as you basically can't hit perfects. You're going to take the burn damage if you don't. But with Law hitting perfects, he actually gets healing back as well. So that can kind of counteract the burn as well. On the final stage, we come up against Hody. He's going to roll our specials back by 2 turns. And he gives us the fear debuff for our crewmate. So we can't, very similar to Enel, we can't like have a crewmate that can roll those specials forward. So what we're going to do here is we are just going to stall a turn. That way we can get our specials back. And then we can use our Vivi Rebecca special to not only remove the defense up, but also remove the damage reduction that Hody puts up on the second turn. Then we can use our Zoro special, we can use our Law special, we have the super typing, we have the final tap, and with that, Hody, he ain't going to stand a chance. My Law is actually at level 5 final tap as well. So getting that extra damage, 1.5, the 2.75 times attack buff, and the 2.75 times ore buff, as well as removing the defensive effects. It's just going to be an absolute great time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. If you're new to the channel, hit the big red subscribe button too. We do upload OPTC videos every single day on both global and Japan. So if you're enjoying the content, smash a like, hit the subscribe button, because, you know, why not? But most importantly, guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Lights!